Welcome to the Meacham interviews. Today we have Melanie Jordan, a former UTC student. Melanie, it's great to have you here. Our usual procedure is maybe begin with reading a poem.
Okay. This one's called Beginning with the Color of This Bridesmaid's Dress. Horizons, last strata at sundown, the peach glow before it all goes indigo. I am hand-stitched to stand witness. I pin her hair, I hold the auburn train. One of three, I wait. Now see the bowl of lemons, the cake, garnished with dark leaves, as we descend 40 stairs to follow her where they rustle and wait. Whose house is this? The antebellum portico, the rented, power-washed facade and gallery of watching doves. Whose strangers are these, standing next to our mothers, our teachers? How do blossoms affix to the widening trees?
Thank you very much. Can you tell us a little bit about how that evolved?
Yeah, I got started writing poems about the kind of rituals and events that I felt I kept having to go to, partly because I was a girl. Baby showers, being a bridesmaid, that kind of stuff. And I just got kind of on a kick with that, and how, to me, those events still feel strange. Every time I go, they feel surreal.
Yeah.
So, and this was actually a friend of mine who got married. And
How generally do you begin a poem?
This one started literally with the color.
Oh.
And hopefully she'll never see this, but my friend picked probably the most hideous color ever and made us all wear these dresses. They were beautiful dresses, but just, hideous color. And I got drawn into that color and what the color looked like and what was associated with it, and then got around to a narrative, and then I cut all the narrative out and got to this.
So it's a process of like accumulating and then cutting
Yeah.
and
Just
do that.
expanding and then contracting.
Yeah. So most of your poems are fairly meditative, I would say.
Yeah.
Rather than the narrative.
For me, yeah.
Yeah. You teach down at University of West Georgia, and how does that affect your writing, or your writing affect that? What kind of interplay is there?
Well, for one thing, it keeps me in an extra regimen, right? Because almost every time I give them an exercise, I do it myself. I have my journal and they see me doing it. And sometimes, if they're a little hesitant, I'll read a little bit of what I got. And sometimes I'll actually go away and come back with something. And I've gotten better about not being afraid to show them messy drafts, just so I don't know. I'm doing it with them sometimes. Sometimes I don't have time to do that, but usually I do.
Yeah.
And I think it loosens them up because they stop, I don't know, they stop thinking there's some big thing on a pedestal they've got to accomplish. In 20 minutes, right? So.
Has it changed the way you write?
I'm quicker, which is a relief because it took me 10 years basically to get a book together, It didn't take that long, but it felt like it took that long. But I think I'm getting quicker because I'm doing more kind of flash drafts, so that's good.
So in graduate school, did we taking a long time too with poems?
Yeah, I'm notorious for revising and revising and revising.
What was your graduate school experience like?
Great, actually. I went to Southern Illinois at Carbondale for a while, and it was amazing. And then I was at the University of Houston. It was also amazing. So lots of workshops, and sort of one of my friends describes my process as, he just calls it like working. He says you just work everything over, and you're just meticulously working over and working over. And I think I'm still doing that, but I'm trying to speed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you came to, you started off here at UTC. Were you writing before you came to UTC?
Yeah.
In high school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I got here. Yeah.
And then what were your experiences like here in the workshops and the writing program?
They set up an expectation for me that was, they set a pretty high bar. because when I went away to graduate school, I had this assumption that everyone around me would have read everything, you know, and that they sort of knew everything. And because I'd had really amazing colleagues around me as an undergraduate, people who have gone on to publish books, to write screenplays, to work on TV shows, all these things. And I didn't know at the time when I was at UTC how good the people around me were and how really invested they were in writing as very young people, 18, 19, 20 years old. And when I got to graduate school, I kind of realized, wait, I had an amazing preparation here that I just thought everybody was prepared that way. And I found out that actually not everybody was prepared that way. So,
part of that preparation is also those trips to Europe.
Absolutely.
And you were on one of those. And what were your experiences there? Where did you go and all?
That was the second time that I had been out of the country, and so still sort of freshly learning what it is to be out of the country. And I was really young, so it was an experience that meant a lot. And of course, like everyone, for a few years I was writing Slovenia poems, and I was writing airport poems. So it changes everything. If you don't have that lens, I don't know what you write about, I guess. Although I haven't been traveling very much in recent years for various reasons, but it's still a thing that it's never left me as something that I'm going to do, and just because I haven't been doing it recently doesn't mean that those early experiences were so formative that I feel like when I get in a rut, I'll do small versions of that, because I'll get stuck on a poem, and I'll just leave and go, even if it's a couple hours away, and go somewhere that I haven't been, or somewhere that I haven't been in a while. And I think the mentality of being elsewhere just helps me.
You have actually a nice advantage of having some pretty amazing colleagues down there where you teach.
Oh, yeah.
A couple that I met last year who are really, really good.
Yeah, we have so many writers there. Chad Davidson is there, Greg Fraser is there, Margaret Mitchell, or Maggie Mitchell is her pen name, Emily Hipshin. There are so many people there that are just top notch. Allison Umminger.
Yeah, it seems like a really vibrant community.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And sort of it used to be a secret. Nobody knew where it was, and I think the word's getting out.
Well, maybe we could end off by having you read another poem.
Okay. How about since I did the bridesmaids poem, I'll do the the wedding attendant poem. This is called Cake Girl. Looking in, you would have seen a chrysalis-shaped blur, as though I were there, the cinder block underbelly of some church into which vagabond bridal trains move. Plastic sacks, heavy with corsages, slump about the rented room. Dyed satin pumps litter the floor. My appropriate flowered skirt fuzzes into focus its mayfly life. A decoy, it brings me closer to the queendom of normal ritual. I am no bride sister, no maid. Like a penny dropped down a grate, I attend attendance. I smile greenly at lavender willow wands. I genuflect, cut the smallest cake.
Thank you. It makes me a little leery about going to the next wedding. But thank you very much for coming.